All right. Peace and blessings. Asafo, the Honorable One, Haki Shakur Ami, the Success Scholar here. Thank you for tuning in, listening in. Man, lots going on, a lot of good things popping here. Of course. Making moves. You know how the Success Scholar does it. So I was just kind of scrounging around, or actually something popped up, and I realized something. So recently there was a discussion on the debate of the decade, but I'm going to address this particular topic. Did Irritated Genie go soft on Umar Johnson, or better yet, was Irritated Genie silent on Dr. Johnson's use of the N word? Now, let me just go back here. Now, uh, recently, and the reason that I'm bringing this up is because there was a collaborative attempt by a few individuals to in a very some did it rather non-directly, indirectly, shall I say, and some was straight direct with their anti debate of the decade campaign. So let me just show, just on some levels, how some folk have a subliminal type of not just a disrespect, but a contradictory, or they don't have the same standards towards other individuals. Now, some individuals may overlook these type of things, but me being the success scholar, as well as the teaching people in a real manner of what values, ethics, and principles we need to stand on. I'm going to articulate a little history and contemporary analysis to show that uh, there's this perception of value, or that some black men feel for other black men for whatever reason. But I'm just gonna make it known, and not that I'm gonna beat on my chest and say, "Give me my respect, give me my respect." I'm gonna do it in an intellectual manner, so that those individuals who are out here that may not have a level of cognition to understand where, and how the success scholar maneuvers in this society very diplomatically, and how I'm at this particular time the one of the more skilled and evolved scholastic organizers of this time. Now, let me get to some of my points here. Rather recently, I saw Brother Genie. Actually, it just popped up. What was I doing? I wasn't. I'm not sure. What was I looking at? But it popped up where Irritated Genie took a clip of Dr. Umar Johnson, and it was a clip of him talking about President Obama. Rather recently, it's so I had to look at that. So that was like a month ago. It was right around my birthday. So I'm just wondering. I said to myself, well, here you have several months ago, Dr. Umar Johnson uh, ranting on the N word, ranting, referring to another brother who is supposed to be in the struggle A-N. Albino M, you midget M, you degenerate M, N, using the N word profusely, not as some term of endearment, not as some NIGGA, or never ignorant get goes accomplished, not in the negas, as in or the Niger River or the NEGU, what they say, the NEGUS, not in that context, but a hostile in. Where does someone get that psychology to refer to another black man in a hostile manner as an in? Huh? I reason that it's the mindset that the white man, the Europeans, instilled in black people and black men to cause us to refer to ourselves as ends, as well as in a hostile manner, refer to other black men as ends. Now, I saw this documentary some years ago, and a brother made it plain. And actually, I may have, I'm not sure if it was Bastards of the Party. I believe it may have been, where one of the guys on there, he articulated very affluently, very fluently, shall I say, not affluent, fluently, how we shouldn't use that word in that and how many gangsters, they always use the N word when referring to each other as when they about to kill someone. All right, so I'm just like looking at it now. This N word discussion that Umar raised up. Let me, it's gone beyond the local conscious community and everything. I was at a store and I was looking at the Informer newspaper, the DC Informer newspaper. That was a full-page story on that. Umar Johnson, black psychologist, goes on a rant or something. I don't know if they call it a rant, but goes on a tangent, I believe. So if the Informer newspaper, who generally carries, they don't get into conscious related issues, they put it out there on some levels as a issue of discussion, as well as Dr. Boyce Watkins. He did a video called Dr. Umar, you are not in, and he used the term. I don't use the term, but he just made it plain, and he told Dr. Umar, you are not that. So, and I'm sure that hopefully, reading all these different books, you will know that you are not that. That's if you are reading the right ones again. So my question again, since Boyce Watkins and the Informer newspaper and many other individuals said something about this N word. So my question to Brother Genie is, have you capitulated that aspect of your position to uphold Umar Johnson just because he uh, use uses talks about President Obama and the homosexuality issues, right? And this is where it gets interesting, because again, some months ago, uh, several individuals went in on David Banner, but David Banner, actually, that's what he does. He's a rapper. He uses the N word, right? He used it in that context before, as in uh, as in saying that we've been created in this environment. He wasn't using it directly, calling someone that. So I'm just like, okay, well, if you are upset with David Banner, but you offer him in, you were at one time upset with Sara Seti, but you still did a lecture with Sara Seti and had Brother Baruti speaking there. Um, my question is, why the no call, no show, no convo on Dr. Umar Johnson? Just a, can I call you right back? 2 minutes, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. And that's a real phone call, y'all. That was my aunt. Happy birthday to my auntie. But that was funny. But so here is my concern, brother. Because I want you to be well. Not saying you're not well, but it's like, look at this. It's like you put Umar up there, like his message is the most relevant message, just because he says something about President Obama and the homosexuality. But you have people killing each other on the streets of DC and Baltimore that's running around using this hostile language, and you are now at this particular time ignoring ignoring this big issue that happened a month and a half, and you just after the fact you post Umar up there, like we are going to keep listening to him, huh? As if he has all the credibility in the world. Hmm? So you won't catch me, the success scholar, one and as one who considers himself civilized, speaking and degrading another black man in this manner. Huh? And and this is where it's really strange how some folk get into what is conscious and what is a black nationalist, or what is a RBGer. Hmm? Because, on some levels, you got people like Sara Seti, who some years ago, Irritated Genie said was a genius. But on one of his DVDs, he said that he's a degenerate. Huh? You can't have it both ways. You can't be a genius and a degenerate at the same time. Now I'm clear just in terms of for what a 40-something-year-old black man, you shouldn't be wearing jeans and shirts hanging over top of you, hat tilted to the side, with boots on, walking around, talking about, yeah, I'm trying to get my G's, my ends. I'm trying to get my ends on the street. And you leave them there in the gutter with and impoverished, until, some of these movements out here, full of these black men that, refuse to grow up. And there's a video that Kush did, Black Male Adolescent Syndrome. And this is what's happening within the conscious movement. And I knew many of these, and many of them had some unique knowledge. But, I personally, I had to grow. I had to apply what I was learning. I couldn't listen to elders and scholars and Jigna warrior scholars out here and pretend and act like a little street, like I haven't evolved from a street conscious, huh? That I haven't evolved from the street mentality, shall I say, to consciousness, huh? So I'm just like, where is the standards, huh? Where's the the being objective and not trying to protect individuals? Hmm? So that's what I see with that. It's like you trying to protect Umar just because he said a few things about the homo J LBGT agenda, and and of course he said it a few times, and several individuals have talked about it a few times. But on the other end, and that's what I mean. Sometimes just imagine you're gonna stand with anybody, the Hebrew Israelites, these folks that's out here cussing out black people and yelling and saying we not Africans, huh? I mean, is that what this is about? Aligning with any old kook, weirdo, freak on the planet? All they need to say is, "I'm just against homosexuality." That's the only criteria or standard that a movement is going to have. Hmm? Israelites, the Umar thing, huh? Seti, yes, just because that's the one little characteristic, I'm not that shallow, huh? I'm not that uh, uh, limited in terms of the scope of reality of what is about life-giving and life-saving transformations for our community. Let's look at it. In the context of a drug dealer or a young brother that doesn't have a place to stay. I'm not talking about someone that's involved in that lifestyle, but the average brother, he don't have time. He don't have time to be intellectual masturbating around these issues. His immediate issues is about food, clothing, shelter, education, medication, self-defense. Hmm? I just add those other three, but food, clothing, and shelter. That's what many of our brothers are immediately interested in. So the question is, how do you discern? And this is what any organization has to have the power to discern, about these different people and different groups of people, like these Israelites, huh, that promote that they're against this, but some of them, they saying, rape a young woman, take upon her or ravage her, like they try to say. Huh? So again, my thing is, be clear about what you represent. Uh, because I recall in the days of PKV at the lectures, what we say, the different things that we stood against. We do not use the N word. Hmm? And I know you're not suggesting that you stand for that or not, or you allow that to go, but you've allowed for it to go. When you talk about everything else and everybody else out here, but you allow for someone to call someone the N-word 20, 30, 40, 50 times. And not that I'm trying to get, folks to start beefs, but I'm looking at the contradictions. So you want to come and talk about the debate of the decade that didn't get half of the of the negative attention, the adverse attention that this N word did, and reinforce into the minds of millions of black people that although you are so-called conscious, now what? You are so-called conscious, now what? That we still can use, we get upset and we get gangster and we get thugged out. I don't get thugged out, brother. I work and build and organize. I need to be around some civilized individuals. And what's real is that I don't see people getting gangster with those that are creating hostile, ghettoized environments and terroristic environments in our community. I don't see people. I know in Baltimore, folk riding up and down the street, terrorizing old people on their dirt bikes, selling poison to our people. I'm just like, when will some black men begin to organize against some of that? Now we taking, I'm not gonna say easy targets, but it's more of an intellectual discussion. But my question is, how long? How long do you keep on, articulating, and yes, some people may need to hear, what is a healthy, holistic black family, but we need to hear some other dynamics and other strong manhood type of positions as well. So that's all I had to say, brothers and sisters. You can be jock riders if you want, but I know that I'm on point with what I say. I don't use you won't see any videos of me calling anybody an N or degrading people like that. So, uh, but being a brother within this movement, yes, and yes, absolutely, and being truly centered in a well-rounded, holistic, organizational sense of the word, huh? And that can have a level of operational unity with other individuals who may not necessarily agree with everything that I do or what I say, huh? So I realized that. But so without further ado, brothers and sisters, I'm gonna be doing a lecture in the Baltimore area coming up the end of March. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. Definitely would love to get you all out. Those that have been paying attention. I'm lining some things up. Overcoming the psychology of poverty. 7 steps to overcoming the psychology of poverty. So that's going to be my discussion coming up towards the end of March. Make it reasonable, but we're building a broad-based movement. All of the work, uh, the supporters that came out for Gentrified, those that came out for the debate of the decade. So I got to take some action. So people want to hear, well, what you got to say now. So I'm gonna add on, bring some, in-depth, unique analysis and understanding. So I know that people want to come out and support. People have been asking me about when I'm doing something again. So I'm saying I'm going to do a lot more. So we're going to try to get it going every month. A civilized, classy environment with some professional, uh, decent individuals, straight, conscious pride and decency. Huh? So that's the kind of builders that I need to associate myself with. So that's all I have. Peace and blessings, Safo, the Honor One, Success Scholar, Hakeem Kwame. I'm out. Peace.